Today we go from this to this. Can you spot the difference? Tow bar 206. That's today's job. So first thing we'll do, I think, is let's jack the car up and get it safe on some axle stands. There we go. Right. What we're going to need, well, some tow bars you need more, some tow bars you need less. This lovely Witter setup on this 206, you're going to need 17mm socket or spanner. Socket on a good ratchet probably better, you get a bit more torque on it. Screwdriver, more to just help us line things up and to take the rubbers off the exhaust. And a little bit of thread lock, just because I like to be extra safe with some bolts like this. So, we go to our first little thing, which we need to make some fixings. So if you can see up there, there's a little square hole, a little round hole. There's another one there. That's the two fixing points on the chassis on either side that the tow bar fits to. Now, you need a captive nut behind there, or a caged nut. The little tabs on it. There's two problems I find with those. One, they cost a fortune. So if you didn't get it with your tow bar, like I didn't, my best price I found is 30 quid. That's for 4 cage nuts. And two, they're blooming flimsy. They're tiny little things and they're rubbish. So I'm going to make some really good ones out of some 2mm steel. So, I'm really good with CAD. That's a cardboard aid design. So I've come up with one of them. That's it, that's all I need. So it's a little length of cardboard I've made up with two tabs. You can see there's a little lip to them. Fold it back, and then that's marked for a little hole. So I'll go and mark that on some steel, cut it all out, and if it's good as the first one, I'll make 3 more of them. Then I can just weld on the nuts on the back, trim them down to fit through the gap, and then they slide in like that. Tabs hold it in, and you bolt your tow bar to that. So there we go. It'll slide in there nicely. Now that's what square hole for. That's for tabs, and then the round hole obviously is where the bolt goes through, straight into your captive nut, or cage nut if you like. These will be captive welded on. So it should be a bit stronger as well. Afterwards it is a tow bar. Right, let's go and do it. So there's our little CAD design, cardboard aided. And we've just traced it onto this little piece of 1mm steel that I found. Why 1mm steel? I found it, and it's going to be easier to use than the 2mm steel I had a few offcuts of. I don't think I managed to get those tabs done in 2mm steel, and 1mm steel is still more than twice the thickness of those original cage nuts which you can buy for 30 quid for a set of 4. So I'll cut one of these out, I'll cut them all out, and then we'll go and play with the bending, make sure we can get one right, and we can copy them on the others. So there we go, 4 little bits cut out. So all I need to just do now is just bend those tabs so that they'll just sit proud, and then we can mark up our little hole, and then here's our nut and bolts that we're going to go on. So they'll go on the back side of that or the front side, doesn't really matter which way I bend, obviously depends on the way I bend the tabs. And then we can weld that onto there, and then that's nice captive nut, effectively cage nut but welded in, and then that will slot in nicely and those 4 holes you saw earlier. Job done. So that's all our tabs bent in. You can see that you need quite a shoulder on that, because obviously you're putting it through the chassis and the thickness of that steel. Holes are cut, so all we've got left now to do is to flip these over and just weld our nuts in and check that they fit. These fit lovely now, they all line up lovely in those holes you saw earlier underneath the 206. We just need to now fit these. They're quite fat, these, so we'll tack them on, go and check fitment, and we might have to just shave a little bit off to get them in. So there we go, they're all done. It's probably taken me about an hour or something to make these little things, but I just out of principle couldn't be bothered to pay 30 quid for these 4 little bits, and they're definitely stronger, and I hadn't had the welder out for about 2 weeks because I've been on holiday, so I couldn't be having that. So I got the welder out, got the grinder out, and we've made them up. They fit lovely. So, yeah, pretty ugly welds to be honest. but they've gone nicely through. I don't claim to be the world's best welder, and I've got a gasless MIG, so what do you expect? But they're firm, they hold, they're going to do the job lovely. So, there we go. I'm going to put them on the car now. Get that tow bar on. Woo! Where's the lazy thumb? So there we go. Got our fixings ready to go. And our bolts to go with them, big washers, and these are some little spacers which go in just to space it in the right position. The first thing we need to do is just, well, I don't know if I can be bothered to be honest, take the spare wheel off, but I will. Just for the sake, oh, let's clear it off, there we go. Just for the sake of access, I'll remove the spare wheel and the holder, and certainly just drop that exhaust down so we can see what we're doing. Right, there we go. Lots more access now. So, our lovely little clips, should say cage nuts that we used earlier. They go in that little slot there. And a little wiggle. Come around and you can just see that in there. And we'll put one in each of those. And the same here. And then we can offer up the tow bar on the jack and get it bolted in. There we go. 4 nice little captive cage nuts right in place, ready to go. Woo. Right, so it's kind of loose, just to show you. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4 17 mils. They're going pretty well. Takes a little bit of fiddling, but they do go in. As you can see, wiring's dangling everywhere, so once I've tightened these up, we'll do a part 2 on wiring. So this is just the old mechanical fitment, really. So let's tighten all those up, make sure it's in line, and be done. I must apologise at this point. You'll also need a 10mm, I forgot. There's just 2 little, one there, little fixings that you'll need, just to remove the bumper and slide behind. So there we go. Ooh, tow bar. So everything's back under there now, 4 bolts don't mess and tight. On part 2, we'll cover wiring. So thanks for watching, subscribe if you want more, and of course, keep an eye out for part 2 for wiring it up.